steady now.
Video games and violence have always been something of a tandem. From the gruesome finishes of Mortal Kombat, to tasering enemies till they set alight on Siphon Filter. But Manhunt would serve as the first game to incinerate the envelope rather than merely push it. Banned in multiple countries, drawn into the centre of a murder controversy, and even questioned by developers of Rockstar North, the team who created Grand Theft Auto, don't forget, it became the poster boy for violence in gaming. Strip away this excess, and what you have is a brutally difficult, nihilistic, yet completely compelling adventure that, despite some noticeable flaws, is hard to put down. Manhunt begins with a report on the execution of James Earl Cash, lethally injected after serving time on death row. Or at least, that's what we're led to believe. Cash awakens confused and led only by a voice, a director, who sends him on a violent killing spree while filming his gruesome endeavours for a snuff film, all with the promise of his salvation. The foreboding story, which repeatedly pulls the rug from under our gruff protagonist, works well in piquing your interest. It's a bit of a shame then that discussions on violent media and the dark satirical edge Rockstar would be so synonymous with, gives way to a mindless revenge plot which concludes in predictable, albeit shocking, fashion. Taking a stab at stealth, Rockstar would spread carnage across 20 missions, a sizable campaign which easily breaks the 10-hour mark. A majority of them see hunters unaware of Cash's presence, allowing you to hide in the shadows and perform stealth kills. The mechanics are simple, meaning the rules remain fairly consistent, with an icon turning dark blue when Cash cannot be seen, and the mini-map flashing red depending on how audible his movements are. Cash can also wield 4 types of colour-coded items, with yellow serving as distractions and the rest serving as various weaponry. Green perform silent stealth kills, but break after a single use, while blue and red prove sturdier but louder. There's a lot of cool little details to take in, like how different surfaces result in different levels of sound when walked on, bodies cause hunters to be on alert, and unique mission stipulations, such as detection causing goons to kill one of Cash's family members. Coupled with adept AI that keeps you on your toes, and Manhunt's brand of stealth is successful. Part of Manhunt's dark appeal lies in its extremely dark atmosphere, outdoing almost everything which came before. Rockstar's engine was never the most flattering, but a slight grain really smooths over a lot of visual deficiencies you otherwise would notice. Environments are unsettling, caked in thick shadows and dilapidated to the extreme. Enemies prove intimidating, with some ritualistic, chanting soliloquies as they singularly hunt you down. But the most distinctive feature, a huge source of controversy at the time, was its brutal executions. When you're in position to perform a self-kill, holding down the button almost charges the brutality, with red arrows indicating some of the nastiest. It's uncanny and borderline repulsive, but adds considerable impact to every move you make and feels attuned to the rest of the presentation. Add in seriously creepy, almost 70s-esque synth music, which wouldn't feel out of place in A Clockwork Orange, and Manhunt's haunting darkness sucks you in, refusing to release you. Manhunt only begins to fall short when it strays from the ethos established in earlier missions. Select sections where you're forced to brawl with enemies highlights just how clunky the combat is, with a cumbersome block mechanic which doesn't assist much. Once firearms enter the game, this also proves less enjoyable, diluting the sense of hopelessness and turning the game into an oft frustrating run and gunner. This leads nicely to a key point, that Manhunt is not to be taken lightly. It is a brutal, difficult game. Stealth can be tough to nail down. The aforementioned combat portions see you overwhelmed quickly, and with infrequent checkpoints, often separated by tens of minutes of gameplay at a time, it's a game that requires a fair bit of dedication to finish, even on the default setting. The hardest difficulty just proves insane. These issues aren't enough to fault Manhunt completely, but it's worth bearing in mind. Manhunt perhaps remains one of the most controversial games of its era, but this shouldn't be its only legacy. Rockstar North would craft a fun, absorbing game which is dark, unsettling and replayable, keeping you generally engaged until the end. While the deviations from stealth prove less than successful, and the violence borders on excessive at points, it's still a game which is absolutely worth playing. If you're open to a steep challenge, as well as a bit of the old ultra-violence, Manhunt is worth adding to your collection.
You've had an unexpected reprieve. Do exactly as I say, and I promise this will be over before the night is out.